Hello, leaders. How are you guys doing today? One, I just want to say I really enjoyed last week's leader meeting, and I feel like it was really good for us to all kind of just get on the same page about everything that we've got going on in students and figuring out the best way to love them. Also, this guy comes to work with us on Mondays and Thursdays, and he is cranky if he's put down, so he's going to be with me in the video. But yeah, I thought that was awesome. Something that was actually brought to or an idea that was suggested to me, though, the day after we met. So Thursday morning, someone was talking about this at coffee, and I thought it was like the perfect idea, and I actually think we're going to end up doing this. No, we're going to try this for a season, and I want you guys to be able to hear about this. And so because, unfortunately, I didn't hear about this before our training because I would have suggested it there, I want to explain it well in a video now, and I'm also going to explain it on Wednesday night. But starting on January 31st, so after winter camp, the way we're going to restructure Wednesday night is that we are going to move the small group time from the end to the beginning, and we're going to make the small group time optional. So it's going to be for people that want to come to small groups. Now, so the person who brought this to me had worked at Eaglebrook in the past, and Eaglebrook has the same model for their youth group. So they have the students who really want to be in small groups. They can come. There's two times you can show up. You can show up at the start time for small groups, and then you come for small groups, and that goes into the message and the rest of the program and whatnot. Or if you're like, and because you guys all know this, you have kids who show up in your small group who might not really want to be in your small group. And so what that allows us to do is, rather than forcing 25 kids to be in small group when really only 12 of them want to be there, you actually get to have a really productive small group with the 12 kids. So the way we're going to market this is I'm going to explain on Wednesday night and to the parents that small groups are kind of at the core of what we do here. That small groups are impactful, meaningful, understanding the heart behind them, that like really, I mean, they can get better messages than they're getting on Wednesday night. Other places, if they go search on the internet, they can get fun at, like Sky Zone and bowling alleys and wherever they want to go. Like they can get more fun atmospheres than a Wednesday night. But small groups and walking through life with people in a similar place and stage of life as them is kind of unique to what makes small groups so beneficial. And that's why youth groups all over the country do small groups. And so I'm going to present small groups as kind of the core and the backbone of youth group and make them seem very important. Or not seem, they are very important, but I'm gonna make them really important, and I'm gonna say, but some of you we know at this time either aren't mature enough to sit and handle a small group or don't really want to be in a small group. And as much as we want kids to be in a small group, sometimes the problem comes in forcing 10 kids who don't want to be in small group to be in small group and trying to get them to pay attention and listen. And it's like maybe they'll come to small group when they reach a maturity, when they're ready for it. So my hope is that for you guys as small group leaders, it actually gives you really engaged groups because it's all the kids selecting and saying, I want to be in this small group. Now, this is a trial, so there's going to be questions and things that we're going to have to figure out through this, but I think it's going to go really well and help you guys feel valued as a leader. This doesn't mean, though, that it's just like you guys show up for small group time and then take off. I'll still need you guys if we do small groups before. Like, you'll lead the small groups, but I'll still really need you to help with the overall flow and structure of the night and making sure that people are listening during the message and engaging with kids during the game and whatnot. But because we are doing this small group that's optional, I think it's just really going to be beneficial for you guys because this is what you wanted to do anyways. Like I think the reason a lot of you signed up was not to tell kids not to throw footballs at other people, but because you wanted to have conversations that help shape students in maturity. And then a couple questions that we've kind of walked through is like, what do you do if a parent drops off a student anyways at that early time and they're disruptive? And that's actually better because rather than 10 disruptive kids, it might just be one. And then you can address that one disruptive kid individually. And you bring me in and it's easier than going like, okay, well, there's 10 of them. How do we address this whole group? But now it's like, okay, it's one kid, whereas everyone else wants to be here. So you can have a conversation with him, follow up with parents much easier when it's able to identify that. You'll have, if since small groups are before, you guys will be talking about what the message is going to be on that night is probably the way the structure will work. And so you'll kind of maybe recap the previous night a little bit, but then prep them for the message and kind of talk about the topic and circulate that. And then the message will actually be secondary to what they're hearing in small group to kind of get them prepped for that. And it just allows them to, they come in and they're already focused in your group so that they're not all riled up, and then we send them to small groups. So it's just going to help on a lot of fronts, I think. But we're going to start this, like I said, January 31st. So we have a couple more weeks of regular, and I'll go around to different groups and communicate this. And then we're going to try it for, hopefully a couple months. But I think this is going to be a long-term solution. I mean, there's a reason that all the Eagle Brook campuses are doing it, and they've loved it. But I just think it's going to be really beneficial for our group and some of the problems that we've been facing. So, text me if you've got any questions. But I'm really excited about this.